We have unexpectedly received this sort of help today. Thank you very much.
Each widow gets a fur coat. 24 women who lost their breadwinners in the war against Ukraine have received gifts as compensation. In return, the organizers of the action asked them to express gratitude on camera. The women did not object.
We thank you very much from the bottom of our hearts, and our thanks to Olga. Thank you. Thank you.
The fact that fur coats would be distributed was reported to women at their workplaces. They were promised expensive gifts from Moscow for talking about specific sins on video. One of the widows reported this to the feminist anti-war resistance. The woman said that this is common practice and that widows in photos and videos often turn out to be fake.
This often happens. Something is brought from Moscow to us and they film us. We are always grateful. Participant of the staged filming in a conversation with the representatives of the feminist anti-war resistance.
But a few days later, a post by one of the participants in the shooting appeared on social networks. According to her, as soon as the cameras were turned off, the pseudo-philanthropists demanded that the fur coats to be returned, allegedly to replace them with better ones. And then they even announced that it was a mistake.
Some women managed to live with those fur coats. I do not know their future fate, but fur coats were taken away from me and 3 other women. They promised then to give us the others, because those were low-quality ones, and they would replace them with others of a high quality. But here's the thing, they did not answer our calls for a whole day, and then they said that there was a mistake. Fur coats were given to us by mistake. They were intended for other women, such as the story. Participant of the staged filming on Telegram.
From September 1st, a new history textbook with a section on the so-called special military operation may appear in Russian schools. So propaganda lessons continue to be introduced into the school curriculum. It is also included for children with disabilities.
We do not abandon our own. We believe in the army. Russia is strong only by faith and truth.
Hearing impaired teenagers from Tula were filmed in a video in support of the Russian army. Their participation in propaganda was explained by the sincere desire of the boarding school students themselves to express words of support and gratitude to the participants in the so-called special military operation. All this is happening amid a reduction in the volume of assistance to children with disabilities by regional authorities.
From now on, children with disabilities and impaired social adaptation in the Sverdlovsk region can no longer rely on high-quality regular assistance from the state. Highly qualified specialists will not be able to work for meager prices. Accordingly, with a high degree of probability, the number of non-state centers that work with special children will decrease. Alexandrina Haitova, president of the foundation I'm Special, in an interview with Kommersant.
Instead of payments, deer and plunder, and the northern regions of Russia, relatives of the mobilized are given humanitarian aid instead of money. In Yakutia, deer carcasses were distributed to the families of the mobilized. In Tuva, carcasses of rams and sheep. On Sakhalin, 5 kilograms of fish per family were distributed, although they were promised 300,000 rubles each. All this speaks of the cynicism of Russian propaganda. If catastrophes occur within Russia itself, the Russian authorities are not always interested in them. This is such a double-dealing position, when they can do something good for PR themselves, but at the same time they completely forget about their citizens. Kremlin propagandists are doing everything possible to manipulate people's minds and to keep them confident in the correctness of the actions of the country's leadership. Russians are being taught to endure, and every day the authorities call them to fight and prepare even their children for war, without explanation why and why such sacrifices are needed. Reported by Pavel Shtelmach, Natalia Husak, Volodymyr Stangelov, UATV News.